A Komamida Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. The 20th annual Malama Wauakua, Care for the Realm of the Gods art show, jointly sponsored by the Hui Noeau Visual Arts Center and the East Maui Watershed Partnership, kicked off on Friday the 13th. If there was ever an event to belie the bad tidings that date is supposed to portend, this is it. A huge crowd of attendees enjoyed Halau Vehi Vehi o Leilehua. There were 10 organizations with information tables, beautiful music from Marvin Tavaga, and an array of local grinds and beverages for purchase. And then, of course, there was the exhibition. Malama Wauakua is a unique art show in so many ways. There are 2 jurors, one from the conservation side to ensure the depicted works represent authentic native or endemic species from Maui Nui, and one from the art side to evaluate the artistic excellence of the presented work. For its 20th anniversary, the sponsors brought back former East Maui Watershed Partnership Community Outreach and Education Liaison, Kat M. Louie, who created this exhibit after taking the late Connie J. Adams watercolor class at the Hui. She wanted to capture the beauty of the endemic and endangered Akohe Kohe. Dissatisfied with her efforts, she wondered if our exceptional Maui artists could do a better job in depicting the magnificence and fragility of our flora and fauna, and voila! Malama Wauakua was born. First 10 years at the Viewpoints Gallery, and for the last 10 at the Hui Noeau. There could not be a more perfect juror from the conservation side. On the artistic side, we have Michael Takimoto, one of Hawaii's most innovative, creative, outstanding visual artists. The other aspect that makes this show so unique is the inclusion of elementary, middle, and high school students as equals with their adult counterparts. Finally, it is the education about our Aina that this show offers which sets it apart. Every label has a statement about the work by the artist and an identification of featured species with both their native and scientific names included. This year's 60 adults and 24 youth artists are displaying 100 works of art in a wide array of media. Each juror gets a juror's choice and an honorable mention, and not surprisingly, these are never the same. Ms. Louie selected this oil on wood by Pua Jaregui of a child as a tree for 5 endemic species, 4 of which are extinct, due to the loss of habitat, predation, and avian influenza. It is a stunning work, commanding the viewer's attention. Her honorable mention went to this acrylic on canvas by Kathleen Storm, He Ole Kolo. This, we learn from the artist, is an expression for a tough, strong person. Depicted are the endemic Ohia Lehua, Iivi, and a Kiwikiu, along with several other flora identified on the label. Interesting, the similarity between the two. Mr. Takimoto, on the other hand, chose Jackie Johnson's cyanotype of the Hawaiian aha, or needlefish. They are almost invisible against the surface of the water. His honorable mention went to this lumen print, a photographic print process which also uses the sun and no camera like cyanotype, by Gwen Arkin of 4 different limu, entitled Ka'uluwehi o Keikai, Plants of the Sea, which some may remember as a song by Edith Kanakaole, popularized by Hapa. Ricky Guild also chose limu as her subject matter in this monotype acrylic on jelly plate piece Limu Pakaleva'a, Slipping from the Canoe. The Youth Awards went to Maui High School Junior, Phoenix Ubando, for this acrylic Ohia Lehua, with details of the blossoms in the foreground, then the tree in bloom in the center of the work at sunrise on the slopes of Haleakala. A lovely piece. Middle schooler Juniper Estilla sourced Willy Willy wood from a dead tree in Laniapoko to create Queen of the Dryland, a beautiful homage to the Willy Willy tree, an endemic species. This acrylic on wood of the blossom of the Willy Willy tree was the middle school juror's choice. Now we come to Pomaka'i 4th grader Wells Zabo Huang's astounding mixed media work, Ao, The Wetlands of Wahe'e. She gives credit to Maggie Sutroff for learning to draw this bird in kindergarten. Look at the detail of this piece, the use of dyed string to create the rifts in the mountains, and the use of white string and glass to create the pool where the Hawaiian stilt hunts. The composition of the work is mature far beyond her 9 years. I look forward to seeing work from this young artist for years to come. Speaking of Maggie Sutroff, she was awarded the Art of Conservation Prize for this watercolor of members of the Kula Community Watershed Alliance, who incidentally will be the organizational beneficiary of this year's 39th St. John's Kula Festival on the 21st of September, planting koa trees on the first anniversary of the fires, August 8, 2024. The final award is among the most coveted. It is in honor of the late Dr. Fern P. Duvall II for the rarest find. This year it was given to Clifford Snyder for this kukui nut ink oil and spray paint on wood panel of the extinct in the wild alala Hawaiian crow. The use of the kukui nut oil in the ink lent a translucence to the feathers, creating a three-dimensional feel to the work, and the metallic sky provided a solar-like glow. Actually, there is another award. It's the People's Choice Award, where you get to be a juror. Go to where this pair of shoes is at the entrance to the show and cast your ballot for your favorite work. Instructions are there. Here is another work by Maggie Sutroff. Art of Oahe is a mixed media piece celebrating Dr. Arthur Medeiros, who will be doing a talk story Tuesday on September 24th at 5 p.m. at the Hui. It shows Dr. Medeiros and his volunteers working on the east side to restore the native forest and, perhaps through this incredible work, save some endemic endangered species. Becky Lewis creates extraordinary fiber art. She has been a multiple award winner of the Art of Trash. This sculpture depicts the alala feeding its baby. The work on this piece is mind-bogglingly complex, and the result is exquisite. The alala was a popular subject. Here is another work by Ricky Guild depicting the extinct in the wild native crow. I love Vicki Robinson's mixed media depiction of the rare white hibiscus. She captured both the delicacy of the blossoms as well as the beauty of the petals, leaves, branches, and buds. Marianne Lee submitted this lovely ceramic with trimmed palm leaves depicted on it, a unique work from one of our most ubiquitous ceramicists. You see her work in every show she enters because of her outstanding technique and incomparable creativity. This ceramic and glass work by Rick Strini almost seems alive. Octopus Family shows mother and baby octopus with curling tentacles. Here is a glass, metal, and koa sculpture of the Hawaiian stilt entitled Tattoo Stilt by Catherine Collinson. She has captured the elegance and beauty of these birds, which resemble ballerinas. Fumage is a technique using a lighted candle. This Akohe Kohe by Sharon Belcher is a mixture of fumage and marker to create this captivating image entitled Rage. Husa Adams is one of our finest encaustic artists. Her encaustic and mixed media work, Walking with Merwin, inspired by the late poet laureate and two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, and Maui resident lifetime work of creating a palm conservancy in Haiku featuring more than 900 species of palm. It's an introspective journey into a most magical realm of this master of the music of language who famously said, quote, "On the last day of the world, I would want to plant a tree," unquote. Now for something completely different, here is Pamela Peterson's Lehua Mamo, a masterful depiction of the Ali'i Cape of Lehua Mamo leaves, handmade paper of Olona flax, and other plant fibers, and acrylic paint. Anne-Marie Sheehan has painted koa and ohia, our most common endemic trees, as a paean to the Maui native forest. Zach Pizzillo works in the wild through magnificent photography, where he creates studio-like settings to capture images of rare endangered flora and fauna. Here is an image of the endangered endemic pod of the Bonamia vine, a breathtaking image. This acrylic by Tracy Dudley is entitled Willy Willy and Lion's Ear, Survivor, and Intruder. It portrays the South African lion's ear and an almost barren Willy Willy. These are just a few of the delights awaiting you at this show, Tuesday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. until November 8th. Every Tuesday at 5 p.m. there will be a Talk Story Tuesdays with a different expert. Also, docents from Maui conservation organizations will be on hand every Friday from noon to 2 p.m. to provide enhanced viewing. Go to www.huinoiao.com for more information. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.